Okay, we ready?
Still a couple moments.
She answers to that. You notice she answers. Is everyone here? Okay, I want to welcome my Senate colleagues and my House colleagues here today to talk about Trump's first 100 days. Donald Trump's first 100 days can be defined by one big F word: failure. Failure on the economy. Failure on lowering costs. Failure on tariffs. Failure on foreign policy. Failure on preserving democracy. Failure on helping middle-class families. Today's new economic news showed that Donald Trump is running the American economy the way he ran his family business, into the ground. Into the ground. On tariffs, what a failure. It's a policy that's in total chaos. One day says one thing, one day says another thing. Maybe this country has tariffs, maybe this country won't. Even his policy advisors are at a loss to explain what he's doing. And as a result, instead of all of us in the world going after China, China now has allies all over the world going after us. Tariffs, a failure. On costs, Donald Trump said on day one he'd lower costs of American families. They are up and up and up. And the tariffs are making it worse. Costs will go up for about $4,000 for the average American family. People who have IRAs have lost close to $100,000. Small businesses, medium-sized businesses, large businesses are frozen because they don't know what Trump's going to do. And that constrains supplies and raises costs. Failure on foreign policy. Instead of standing up to bullies, Trump is succumbing to bullies. He's being bullied by the dictators of the world. And again, he's broken our alliances in Europe, and so all the world now looks askance at America. Failure on DOGE. DOGE was supposed to bring efficiency. What instead is it doing? Cutting Social Security, cutting medical research, cutting costs. Failure on helping American families. Cutting taxes on the rich and paying for it by slashing Medicaid, strangling Social Security, hurting our veterans. Total failure on helping American families. And who is complicit in all of this? Who, the Republicans in the House and Senate, are co-conspirators. They are complicit. They are aiding and abetting all of Donald Trump's failures. They're not standing up to him once. They're involved, and they will shoulder the blame. Finally, on democracy. Donald Trump is trying to ruin our democracy. He has changed the Justice Department into an attack dog for his political enemies, the hallowed, fair Justice Department. He's washing it away. He is a would-be dictator. He wants to be a king. And again, our Republican colleagues in the House and Senate are complicit. So, Donald Trump's first 100 days are an abject failure. And we Democrats here and around the country will fight him at every turn. The great Hakeem Jeffries.
Thank you so much. An honor and a privilege to stand here with you, Leader Schumer. Thank you for your
leadership and an honor and a privilege to stand here with House Democrats and Senate Democrats shoulder to shoulder in defense of the American people. Donald Trump's first 100 days in office have been a disaster. Donald Trump and congressional Republicans are crashing the economy in real time, raising costs on hard-working American taxpayers and driving us toward a painful recession. This is not Joe Biden's economy, Donald. It is your economy. It is the Trump economy. It is a failed economy, and the American people know it. House Democrats and Senate Democrats, standing shoulder to shoulder, are committed to building an economy that actually is affordable and makes life better for everyday Americans. We want to build an economy that lowers housing costs, lowers child care costs, lowers health care costs, lowers grocery costs, and lowers utility costs. We recognize that far too many people in this country are struggling to live paycheck to paycheck. That should not be the case in the wealthiest country in the history of the world. It's time to build an affordable economy, and it's time to build it now. Donald Trump and congressional Republicans have failed in this task, and they're not equipped to do it because they're focused on enacting massive tax cuts for their billionaire donors like Elon Musk, and they want everyday Americans to pay for it. We are going to continue to stand up to protect Social Security and Medicare. These aren't entitlement programs. They are earned benefits. The American people have paid into those benefits, work hard for those benefits, earn those benefits. They are earned benefits. And let me be clear with our Republican colleagues and Donald Trump, Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme. Project 2025 is a Ponzi scheme. We're going to stand up in defense of the health care of the American people. It is outrageous that Donald Trump and congressional Republicans are trying to enact the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. They will hurt families, hurt children, hurt seniors, hurt women, hurt veterans, and hurt disabled Americans. Hospitals will close, nursing homes will shut down, and people will die. This budget that Republicans are trying to jam down the throats of the American people at the direction of Donald Trump is unconscionable, unacceptable, and un-American. And Senate Democrats and House Democrats are going to do everything possible to stop this reckless budget in its tracks and bury it in the ground, never to rise again. Yes. Lastly, we have a message for our Republican colleagues. The House and the Senate are separate and co-equal branches of government. We don't work for Donald Trump. We don't work for Elon Musk. We don't work for far-right extremists. We work for the American people. And it's time for you to start acting like it or step out of the way so we can build the type of America that allows every single person in this great country to thrive. It's now my great honor to yield to the great Reverend Dr. Senator Raphael Warnock from the great state of Georgia.
Good job, Hakeem. Good job.
It didn't take us long to see what this Trump administration is all about. This is the worst first 100 days that this country has seen in a very, very long time. We are witnessing an all-out assault on our Constitution, an all-out assault on our norms and our values, an assault on the pocketbooks of ordinary people, but in a real sense, an assault on the spirit of the American people. They are trying to convince us that our neighbors are our enemies. We should know better than that by now, and we do. We went through a deadly pandemic in which if my neighbor was sick, while she was sick, I was potentially imperiled because it was an airborne disease. That didn't make my neighbor my enemy. That means I have an invested interest in my neighbor's health care, in my neighbor's ability to be covered. And so while there are politicians who want us to be wary of our neighbors, we ought to be wary of politicians who want us to be afraid of each other. They're trampling due process, striking fear in communities all across our country. They're firing the federal workers who serve our veterans. Many of them are veterans themselves. They have had the honor necessary to fight for us. And then they come back and they've got to fight with us to get ordinary respect for the work that they've already done and the work that they're trying to do. They're trying to shut down Social Security offices in Georgia and all across the country, drinking water safety offices. And why are they doing all of this? They're doing all of this in order to pay for a tax cut for billionaires, all the while adding billions of dollars, trillions of dollars over time to our national debt. But here's the thing that they're really trying to do. They are trying to weaponize despair. They're trying to so beat us down that we will be too soul weary to fight, and it's our job to prove them wrong. This country does not belong to the people in power. The power is in the people. And so I want the American people to be clear that we are fighting. In many ways, you will see our fight. Sometimes you will not see what the fights that we're engaged in, but know that we're fighting for ordinary people. Because we believe that if you center the people rather than the politics, you have a chance at getting the public policy right. That's right. And so we invite our Republican colleagues to join us. The doors of the church are open. The time is always right to do what's right. It's never too late to be on the right side of history. And so we want you to rise up to this moral moment and to recognize that we will not give in to wannabe autocrats who want to convince us that they have already won. If they can convince you that they've already won, then you won't fight. You won't raise your voice. The great Andy Young, who's now in his 90s and is a great source of wisdom for me, tells a story of how after they had passed the Civil Rights Bill into law, Dr. King and his team went to visit with President Lyndon Baines Johnson. And Dr. King said to President Johnson, I need a voting rights law. My people are being disenfranchised, and we've got to pass a voting rights law. And the president said, Martin, I agree with you, but the sad political reality is I don't have the power to do that right now. I just passed the civil rights law. I've used all of my political capital to muster that through the Congress. There's no way I can get a voting rights law passed. I don't have the power to do that. And they left the meeting, and the team was feeling all dejected, and somebody said to Dr. King, what are we going to do now? He said, well, the president says he doesn't have any power. I guess we're going to have to go and get the president some power. And so I've been thinking about that story a lot lately, because everywhere I go, and I know my colleagues have the same experience, people are asking us, what are we going to do? Will you fight for us? And the answer is yes, we are fighting for you. But Selma was about creating the context for the change that you want to see in the world. And so know that as we fight on the inside, we need you to fight on the outside. And we will prove once again that this is the United States of America, and at the end of the day, it's the people who have the last word. Love has the last word. Justice has the last word. Righteousness has the last word. And we will continue to fight.
Thank you so much. What an honor and privilege to be here with Leader Jeffries, Leader Schumer. Thank you for bringing us together, and with my incredible Democratic colleagues in the House and the Senate, fighters, each one of them. 100 days ago, Donald Trump came to this Capitol. He swore an oath, spoke to the American people, and promised to bring down prices. And then he started a trade war with our allies, and prices went up. He said we'd be a rich nation again. Then he collapsed the market, and trillions of dollars in savings have been lost. He promised a glorious destiny for Americans. Then he executed an agenda of, by, and for the billionaire class. And now supermarkets are warning they may not be able to stock their shelves. Republican politicians promised the American people they would have more money in your pocket, more opportunity for your family, more confidence in your future. But all we have seen is them take away health care, take away Social Security, take away veterans' benefits, take food away from children and seniors. That's not what anyone voted for. We look at the polls, but also go out and ask people for yourself. You'll hear the same thing that we're hearing. Ask my constituent whose husband is in final stages of dementia, whose financial survival depends on Medicaid. Ask the mom in my district whose son was born with spinal muscular atrophy, a proud college graduate who relies on Medicaid not just to stay alive, but to live a full life. Ask the veterans that I've met in town halls and round tables and in Dunkin' Donuts across my district. They can't get an appointment at the VA right now, and they are scared and think we have forgotten them. Ask the seniors who cannot get someone to pick up the phone at Social Security. In red, blue, and purple districts, Americans are saying this is not about politics, this is not about an ideology, this is about the fact that politicians are supposed to work for the American people, not the other way around. And we see the Republicans in Congress choosing their careers, their political survival over that of their constituents, listening to Donald Trump and Elon Musk and their donors instead of their own voters. Their voters are speaking clearly. They oppose tax cuts for the rich. They oppose cuts to Social Security. They oppose cuts to veterans' benefits. They want the representatives they elected to lower their cost of living, to make sure they can afford groceries, go to the doctor, and stay in their homes. Whether or not Republicans are listening to their voters, Democrats are. We see them, and we see a system that punishes those who work the hardest to benefit those who have the most. And we're here to offer a different path. We're here to fight for the America that Americans want, with more opportunity, more wealth, and more power for working families. That is the fight that we're in. That is our commitment to Americans. And I am so proud to be here today and yield to my good friend, the Senator from Delaware, Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester.
Thank you, colleagues. All right. Leader Schumer, Leader Jeffries, thank you for gathering us all here today on this beautiful, beautiful afternoon. As a former member of the House of Representatives, the House members, and as a new member of the United States Senate, I have to say to everybody, I don't know about you, but when I look back and see this crowd, This is a beautiful sight to behold. Democrats coming together across the Capitol. So I start off by saying it's good to see you. It's good to be with you. It's good to be in the fight together. All of us represent millions of Americans across this country, from every single corner of this country. We have constituents who may have different voices, may look different, may have different beliefs, and face different challenges every day. But there are two things that we are united on. One is that we love this country. Get that straight. We love this country. And for so many of our constituents, and for us, we feel a sense of urgency in this moment. 100 days. Some of you may recall, if you know me, that in 2016 I was elected, having never run for anything in my life. And I came to the House of Representatives in the minority. Right, Speaker Pelosi? I was in the minority. I came with Donald Trump. And so for me, this is not new. We made sure that every attempt to repeal, replace, tear up the Affordable Care Act, we did not let that happen because the people did not let that happen.
Right.
And today, I am here as a United States Senator in the minority, temporarily. I'm going to say that again, temporarily.
Temporarily.
And also with Donald Trump. And I have a message to my Republican colleagues. When I first came in, the word was unprecedented, but now the words are uncertain, chaotic, confused, and corrupt.
Yep.
Those are the words. And so to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, I say on this 101st day, there is an adage, the truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. 100 days into this presidency, we've gone from 3 years of solid growth in our economy to the steepest decline that we've seen since the pandemic. That's the truth. Groceries are up, retirement savings are down. That's the truth. Outbreaks of measles and the avian flu, that's the truth.
Right.
It costs more to build, buy, or to rent a home. It's the truth. American citizens, including 2-year-olds and kids with cancer, are being deported without due process.
Wow.
That's the truth. There are wars around the world. There's chaos at the Pentagon, and our allies are losing trust in us. Anybody remember Signalgate 1 and the sequel Signalgate 2? And don't forget the Department of Inefficiency, breaking our government while they're stealing your data. It's been a long 100 days, but make no mistake, Democrats are going to continue to fight. And each of us must do our part in this moment. We will sit in, right, Corey? Yes. To protect Medicaid and the millions of Americans who rely on it. We will stand up for justice and the rule of law and due process. We will march for our rights. And across the Capitol and across the country, we will lock arms against hate, corruption, and darkness. We do this because this is our country. We do this because this is our democracy. And we do this because we recognize that we are all in this together. We are all in this together. And so I close with the song, but I'm not singing. I close with the song that I think represents what you see behind you. The song that is sung and danced to at every Black family reunion. We are family, and we got your back, American families. And it is my honor to now introduce the Minority Whip from the United States House of Representatives, Pete Aguilar, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Senator. Leader Schumer, Leader Jeffries, Speaker Emerita Pelosi, and colleagues. For 100 days, Republicans have shown us who they are fighting for and what they care about. It's not the working families who asked for a little bit of help. a little bit of breathing room. It's not our veterans, our farmers, our teachers, or our seniors. The only thing Republicans can rally around, the only thing that brings them together, is massive tax cuts for their billionaire friends. They're trying to pass a budget to cut Medicaid, to cut health care, to make health care more unaffordable and less accessible. They're dismantling the Social Security Administration and putting the earned benefits that seniors rely on in jeopardy. And Trump's reckless tariffs are driving our country towards a recession, which will put hardworking Americans out of work through no fault of their own. In just 100 days, Donald Trump and the Republican majority have broken their promise to lower costs and instead chosen to crash the economy. Their budget bill will only make things worse. Democrats are going to keep the focus on the American people, and the American people are asking for a little bit of breathing room so they can get by. They want to spend a little less of their hard-earned paychecks at the grocery store, at their daycare, or toward rent. We're going to focus on making life more affordable, making life easier for everyday Americans in these next 100 days, and at every turn until we flip the House and we flip the Senate and we put a check on the Trump administration's reckless economic policies. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, everybody. Great moment.